Recording in progress,
Yep.
December 17th, 2023. Welcome, Father, to our next round of
So
questions. Okay, 121, question 121. If you could change something about yourself, what would it be?
change my nose.
Knew you were going to say that. So, for everyone that's listening now, we just had a discussion about our big English noses. So, that's why that's on Dad's mind. All right, really, would it be your nose, or are you just joking around?
No, that's probably it. I've always, like I
Really?
said, I've been self-conscious about it. My dad making fun of it, and I've been self-conscious about it ever since. I was
Dang.
probably about 12, 15 years old, somewhere in there when he said it to me.
It's a pretty impressionable age,
Yeah,
adolescence, early adolescence. Well, it's not too late to get a nose job, Dad.
yes, it is. 87.
Right. Okay, well, that's interesting. So you change your nose. Is there anything else besides what about something that's not physical appearance wise, or something that your dad didn't shame you about that you would change?
Oh, probably reading more. I just never been a reader.
Yeah,
I read technical articles, but I've never enjoyed reading novels.
yeah. Sounds a lot like me. I read a lot of manuscripts and student papers. I read the Book of Mormon. But
Right.
other than that, I don't read much of anything else.
When we were first married, I did read Western novels. Oh,
Oh yeah?
yeah, like Western mystery type novels.
Oh,
That
cool.
didn't last too long.
Yeah.
Television came
Well,
along, and that was the end. We didn't have television sets when I first married, so
right. Well, it's not too late to start reading.
yeah, it is.
It is.
I just fall asleep.
That's probably true. That's my problem with books too, is I'll fall asleep.
Yeah,
Probably with audiobooks, you'd fall asleep too, huh?
I don't know if Amazon keeps offering me 2 free books to try out, so maybe I should do it sometime.
Yeah.
See,
Try out one of those old Western novels again.
it would have been great to have when I was driving back and forth to work, half hour each way, an hour a day. You could have listened
That's true. What did you listen to?
to the news.
Oh yeah.
15:30 on AM radio.
15:30 a.m. Was that NPR or was that Fox News or what was
ACRA.
it?
I
KCRA.
think it, well, I'm not sure of that. It was the one that had Rush Limbaugh on.
Oh, okay. That sounds like more of a Fox News kind of channel
Could have
or
been, yeah.
station. Rush
Anyhow,
Limbaugh, that's old school.
yeah,
Now we got Glenn Beck.
right. He's no
Okay,
longer
so
live either.
Rush Limbaugh?
Now, Beck, is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still on.
I never listened to him. I seldom listen to radio anymore.
Yeah. You just listen to your Alexa jazz instrumental music.
I listen to,
Oh, did you hear me?
yeah, Alexa, stop. No, I listen to Escape. It's a it's all instrumental, soft music. I leave it on all night long. It's
Nice. I remember you used to listen to Barbara Streisand
I liked her, yeah.
in your office when you were doing stuff on the computer.
All right.
Or the soundtrack to Annie. You
I like
remember
that.
that?
That was a good movie.
It was a good movie. Okay, let's check out the next question. What is the most stressful experience you ever lived through?
My mother's death, probably
Your mother's death?
yeah,
Yeah.
being 8 years old. I
So
could,
what kind of,
I think I mentioned before that they even had us kiss her before they closed the casket. Her body was just ice cold. It
uh,
was a bad experience. But
did you want to do that?
no, they just told us to kiss her goodbye before we closed the casket up, and I kissed her, and her body had been refrigerated,
Uh,
so it was not a good memory to leave your last memory of your mother by.
yeah, I can imagine.
Oh,
I remember I kissed Brian's forehead and I regretted it.
yeah,
'Cause
he
it
was
just
cold
didn't,
too.
yeah, it just didn't, it was not pleasant. It's not him, it was his shell.
Right, right. I remember when mom was passing, the nurse that came in, hospice nurse, she said at one point, she says the spirits left the body.
Really? Mm. It's hard.
Mhm. Next question.
Yeah. Well, I'm okay. I just wonder what kind of, besides that, kissing your mom, and I mean, that put you under a lot of stress. What else was stressful about it? Everything that followed?
Well, having to live on a farm away from, and I was being picked on when Bobby and I were put on a farm, after my uncle didn't want to have us living with him any longer. My dad put us out with a widow lady on a farm in Hanson, Idaho. She had a daughter, and Bobby and the daughter were kind of teaming up on me all the time. I had to go milk cows, and he chased me with a pitchfork, and I stumbled over another one, ran the pitchfork up in the calf of my muscle. Still got a scar, circular scar where that pitchfork went
Into your calf muscle?
into the calf muscle. Yeah,
Which leg?
it's on the right leg.
Ow. So they were just picking on you all the time?
Oh, brothers fight. Well, maybe you didn't. Did you and Brian
No, we
fight?
did. Me and Brian did here and there.
So it was the same thing. My brother and I, Robert and I, David, we didn't, but Bobby and I always did.
How much younger was David than you guys?
He was 6 years younger.
Uh,
Bobby was
so
3 years.
he was too little to pick on you.
Yeah.
It was just a little guy.
Well, he didn't live on the farm either. He stayed with Aunt Violet for
Oh, really?
a long time. Yeah.
Aunt Violet. Remember who Aunt Violet?
Bobby and I lived with Aunt Elsie. My Aunt Elsie would be your great Aunt Elsie.
Oh, mom, your mom's sister, Elsie.
Right.
And Violet was your mom's other sister.
Other sister.
And where
And
did Elsie
Violet
live?
took David when mom passed away. And Bobby and I was with Aunt Elsie. And
So did Violet raise David?
for a while, yeah, until my dad got us all together in Caldwell.
Really?
You know,
So David went with Violet. You and Robert went with Elsie. And then what was your dad doing?
he was off trying to get a resort going. He'd sold his restaurant in Twin Falls and went to a place called Thousand Springs, Idaho. And they built an airplane hangar. They bought a bunch of boats to take people up on the river on rides. He built a restaurant
Hmm.
and gas station there. He invested all the money he had and ended up going bankrupt. It was kind of a resort of today would have flourished, but back then it wasn't quite ready to. You weren't into that thing. So he ended up
Hmm.
losing all the money he sold the restaurant for, and we had enough to buy one in Caldwell.
Wow. How long were you apart from your dad?
Uh, about 2 years, I think it was.
2 years. Did he come and visit often?
I don't recall. I
Oh,
don't. Th- I don't think he did. I think he was just too busy trying to make a living.
Wow. Sounds pretty rough.
But
Well,
it was a stressful time.
yeah, sounds like it. And you were the oldest, so you probably felt a lot of that responsibility weight on your shoulders. Hmm. Let's go to the next question. What is the scariest thing that ever happened to you?
Hmm.
Scariest thing. I think I know what it is.
What do you think?
The time lightning struck into your, I don't remember where it was, but you told me
With
about
the
this ball of electricity floating through the air or something like that.
ball lightning.
Yeah, the ball of lightning. What
That
was
was a
that all
scary
about?
time. I ran and hid in the bedroom under the bed. That was
So
That was with Aunt Elsie when I first moved in with Aunt Elsie and Uncle Merrill. They were managing a chicken farm in Utah. And
Union, Utah?
Union, Utah.
Hmm.
I think it was called Union Murray, but I asked someone the other day that was from that area, and they said that there's a Union. They don't know about Murray, or maybe it's just
There's a
happened.
Murray, Utah.
Maybe it's Murray then instead of Union.
Yeah.
But I had to go out and rake the chicken poop out from underneath the roost, and I hated
Uh-huh.
that. I felt like lice were crawling on me. And candle eggs, you know what candling eggs is?
Handling eggs, keeping them
Candle.
warm.
No, they have a box with a light inside of it, a round hole, and you set the egg up beside that hole. And then you can see how many yolks is in there, if there's any blood in the egg.
Oh.
Oh, I'd have to do that. Go through
So what
candle.
would you do if you found blood in the egg?
You throw those out.
Huh.
But if you found double yolk, then you set them aside and people would buy them because they had double yolks.
Ah.
That would have turned out to be twin chickens, chicks when they were born. Anyway, candling eggs, and then my aunt would give me a quart jar with cream in it. I'd have it go out and shake it underneath the water dripping off the roof and turn it into butter.
That's cool.
So,
Sounds like you learned to work hard.
well, they put me to work, yeah.
Yeah. But I thought you were in Idaho with Elsie and Elsie.
Oh, when they took mom to LDS hospital in Salt Lake when she was with cancer, that's when I started living with Aunt Elsie. Bobby and I lived with her. And they lived on this chicken farm at first. In fact, I don't remember if Bobby was on the chicken farm. I don't recall him being, so I don't know where he was.
Hmm.
Maybe he
But
was.
then did they later move to Idaho, Twin
No, they
Falls?
later bought a home in Holiday, Utah. That's spelled
Oh,
Holladay.
okay.
And there he had, I don't know what he was doing for a business, but we lived next door to a family called Stratton's who owned a bakery. But anyway, I was living in Kentucky Avenue in Holiday is when I was told about my mother passing away.
And
So
that's when you like threw the blocks or something, right? Or knocked them
I was
over.
playing with building blocks, kicked them across the room, and I was told later that I actually went around and turned all the chairs upside down on the floor and stuff, and being so upset that my mother had died,
Uh,
8 years
that's
old.
sad. That must have been so hard.
Yeah.
Was this where the lightning experience happened?
The
In
lightning
Holiday,
experience,
Utah?
no, it happened in Murray.
Okay.
We
At the chicken
were
farm.
in this farmhouse, and there was an old wood burning stove. But back then, you didn't have gas stoves, electric stoves. You put wood in a wood burning stove and cooked on it. And that's how you got
Right.
your hot water too, is pipes run through that stove. Anyway, the ball of
Oh,
lightning came from the window, drifted right in front of me, and landed on the stove. It was just a round white ball.
really?
I read about it. It's a Russian. There was an article I read from Russia that talked about ball lightning. They think maybe it's a gas pocket of gas, and it just catches lightning catches on fire and it kind of burns itself across.
It went right in front of you,
Yeah,
freaked you out.
I ran, hid underneath the bed, and was kind of been scared of lightning the rest of my life because of that.
I know you have. What did it do to the stove?
It just landed on the stove and was gone.
Oh.
No sound
You
to it.
ran from the barn house into the house, into under your
Came
bed?
from a window in the house across the kitchen and landed on that old wood burning stove.
Okay, I guess I got confused. I thought you were in the like the barn, the chicken area when it happened.
No, no, I was in the kitchen of the house.
Okay. And then you took off and hid under your bed until you felt safe again.
I don't remember when I crawled out, but I've been scared of lightning ever since.
Yeah, I know. I remember. You were always scared of lightning. Even when you heard thunder, you didn't like it.
Right? Right of another
So is
ball
that
of
this
lightning coming.
right? So that's the scariest thing, or is there something else?
Well, that's probably one of the scariest.
Yeah.
There's other things I'm scared of, but I know driving from Twin Falls to Salt Lake, we were going up an icy hill and the car starts spinning around and come up came to a sudden stop and right at the edge of the road and got out and looked and it was a big gully going down there. Car would have gone down there. We would have been killed. I don't know. I
Yikes.
looked underneath the car and didn't see anything that could have stopped the car. So I sometimes wonder if the Lord didn't intervene and stop us
Divine intervention.
and stop the car for us, so we wouldn't be killed.
Yeah. Who were you with?
My father and Bobby,
Wow. That would have been frightening. Well, we're all glad you didn't fall over the cliff, Dad.
right?
Okay, the next question is 124. What kind of musical instruments have you learned to play?
French horn and trumpet or cornet. Okay.
Oh, that's right. The French horn and the cornet. How long did you play those for?
Yeah, the cornet I probably played 2 years, 3 years, I guess. French horn about a year.
Cool. Was this when you were in elementary school or high school or both?
High school
Yeah.
at Caldwell, Idaho.
Okay. That's fun. I know we
You,
still have the
and you tried
cornet,
to
don't
play
we?
cornet.
Yeah, I did in the
Well, it's
sixth grade, I think.
still in the living room.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's your French horn?
You got that from school. We didn't buy that. That's the school provided you one.
Yeah. One of my old scouts here plays the French horn in band in high school.
Hmm. Well, I
Yeah.
played French horn in an orchestra, and the cornet I played in the marching band.
Oh, cool. That's fun. Didn't you play the harmonica a little bit?
No, I never did.
Yeah, I thought you did. Okay, let's see. The next question. 125, would you consider yourself creative?
Oh, yes, I don't say extremely creative, but being an engineer, sure.
Okay. So give me an example of how you're creative
Well,
as an engineer.
developing, developing stuff for the satellites that I worked on.
Okay. So
And,
creating new technology.
yeah, so we could spy on Russia.
Cool. But
Can't
like,
talk,
what
can't talk.
about
Hmm?
No, go ahead.
I said I can't talk much more about what they were because they're all highly classified.
Really? He can't say anything now?
Well, you got to be debriefed, and I've never been debriefed, so I'm not allowed to say anything until I've been debriefed.
What if I debrief you?
You can't debrief me.
So
Oh,
you
so,
know, so you're gonna take this stuff to the grave with you. You're not gonna tell anybody.
no, can't.
Did you write it down somewhere?
No,
You should write it down and then hide it somewhere.
it just, it was CIA and military satellites.
Interesting. Very interesting. Hmm.
I couldn't tell mom
Okay.
what I was doing.
You told mom?
I can't, couldn't tell her anything either.
Did she ever ask you?
No, she knew better.
She knew better.
She knew I couldn't talk about it.
Yeah.
There's one point when I
Interesting.
was going up to Northern California working on a part of the satellite component that this company was going to be thought it was going to go bankrupt. So they sent me up there to gather up all the information, bring it all back, and assemble them in Redondo Beach. And there's one point they wouldn't even let me get on an airplane because somebody hijacked a plane, a 727 airplane to Cuba. So everybody had these kind of clearances where we weren't allowed to fly.
Really?
Yeah. So mom had to
That's
fly up, flew up to Sunnyvale to be with me for the weekend instead of me going home.
wow. That's interesting. Did you ever tell anybody, I could tell you, but I'd have to kill you?
Feel that as a joke, sure. That's kind of a standard. I could tell
That's
you,
what
but I'll
people
have to
say when
kill
they,
you afterwards.
yeah, when they have some major top secret thing, they can, if they tell you, they have to kill you.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let me see. What's the next one? Question 126. What things have made, let's see, what things have you made that others have enjoyed? Interesting. What things have you made that others have enjoyed?
You call growing a garden mate.
Sure. You grew a garden.
I just grew a garden and we ate the vegetables and enjoyed them, right?
Yeah.
You're doing that now yourself.
Yeah. What about your
I got
famous,
one lonely little tomato plant out there now.
what about your famous omelets on Saturday morning?
I'm gonna fix those for you guys too. Yeah.
Yeah. Eggs over easy.
What
Used to
about
make
the
us
hot dog
those.
wieners and onions?
Oh, that's right.
You
Hot
like
dogs,
that?
eggs, and onions.
Yeah. I
Mm-hmm.
still fix that every once in a while.
Oh yeah. I remember you made these really good hash brown potatoes, like sliced.
Yeah, you guys always like those. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you would make bread.
Yep.
We enjoyed that.
Well, you're duplicating all that now.
We're trying. I had to make 3 loaves of bread today because we had 3 missionary homecomings.
I didn't
So
get
there was
one.
supposed to be a lot of people there, and we actually didn't have that many more. So I bet the teachers just ate the other loaf.
I haven't made bread in a long time.
I like it. It's therapeutic.
Yeah. I told
Dip
you
your
that's the way
hands
I
in the
got my
dough.
fingernails cleaned, right?
Nice. Yes, you did. After working on the greasy engines.
Yeah. A little bit of grease didn't hurt anybody.
I guess no one died from it, huh?
Mom's girlfriend, Carol Hale, no, Carol File, her name was. Her and her husband, when they got married on their honeymoon, drove all the way to Texas to eat my cinnamon rolls.
Oh, really?
Came to the house and said, "Okay, we're here. Where's your cinnamon rolls?" I had
I
to,
didn't know. Did you ever make those for us? I don't remember having any of
I don't
those.
think I ever did. I'm making those later, yeah. But
What?
they
Well,
I drove all the way from LA to Amarillo, Texas to get my cinnamon rolls.
okay, well, next time we come out, I expect some cinnamon rolls.
You make the bread, I'll make the rolls out of it.
Okay. Do you just use bread dough?
Yeah.
Oh,
Put cinnamon and raisins on there and roll it up, cut them and bake them,
huh. That sounds pretty easy.
and put frosting on them.
Okay, we'll do it. That'd
A
be
little bit of
fun.
cream and powdered sugar for frosting.
Let's do it. Okay. How would you describe, this is question 127. How would you describe your sense of humor?
Don't have any.
Don't have any. Sure you do.
I don't know how to describe it.
How would I describe your sense of humor?
Dry.
It is pretty dry. Yeah.
I'm not a
Well,
comedian.
what?
I don't think I'm a comedian.
I don't remember you joking around a lot either. Because the next question has to do with the funniest practical joke you've ever played on someone. Have you ever played a practical joke on someone?
Yeah, but I think I'm not sure I have.
Did you ever try to scare anybody? Jump out of a closet and scare them or do anything like that?
Well, we did those things about you look up through the coat sleeve for the stars and pour water down through you. You remember that,
That's
don't you?
right. I remember that.
Put a glass of water on the ceiling with a broom handle and say, "Here, hold this for a minute," and walk up, leave them.
It's a good idea. I'm going to do that to somebody. Here, hold this for a minute. And then there's no way of not getting wet. I mean,
All right.
unless
They can't
that's
get it
funny.
down. They can't reach up there and grab it. So
I do remember so you
I'll
look
let
up the coat sleeve, and then while they're looking up in it, you pour water down it.
them down the sleeve. Yeah.
That's
You know where
funny.
we learned that from, though?
No, I don't.
Lester.
Really? Of course.
Grandpa Williams is the character.
Lester was a joker. That's funny. Any other practical jokes?
Oh, none that I can think of right now. I'm
Okay.
sure I've got others, but I don't. Can't think of it.
Well, if any other come up, let us know.
All right.
So the next one's question about activities. Question 129. What activities have you especially enjoyed as an adult?
Well, I enjoyed going camping with you kids.
Yeah,
We love to camp.
that's true. Kings Canyon, good
Yep.
times. Camp Nauvoo,
Camp Nauvoo. Yep.
that's
Kenneth
fun.
and Debbie, when we were meant to Massachusetts, we went all the way through uh, Gomorrah, went across into Canada, around through looking by the what, what is it, waterfalls,
Oh, Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls. Yeah. Put on these yellow wet jackets and hike down the ladders to the bottom of the falls.
That's cool.
Somewhere there's pictures of that with Dennis and Debbie.
Yeah. Did you camp all along the way when you were doing that?
Yeah, we camped all the way. We were out. We were going to be out 10 days, and we ended up after 6 days got rained on so much that we ended up giving up.
Yeah.
But
But
we
did you
went to
actually go into Canada? Did you cross the border?
Yeah, I went to Canada through Toronto and then camped in Montreal.
Really? That's cool.
And then down
Did you?
into hmm?
I was just going to ask if your dad enjoyed camping, if that's how you got into it.
No, he never took us camping. We did have
Huh.
a He did have a ski boat that in Caldwell, ski on the lake. I think it's called Lake Powell or not.
Lake Powell is
Uh,
Southern
it
California
was
or
in
Southern Utah.
it was in Caldwell. It was near Boise. Anyway,
Okay, that's cool.
he had a speedboat that we'd go out and,
Nice. Did you ever get to drive it?
yeah,
Cool.
but then
So
it got
water
burned
skiing.
got burned up.
Yeah. So besides you did a lot of camping, any other hobbies? Oh yeah, the next question says, oh, never mind. The next question is about your hobbies. So we just say camping's a hobby, or what other hobbies did you have?
Computers,
Yeah,
electronics.
playing computer games all the time.
I never played the computer games you guys did.
I know you didn't. You didn't like those.
It's a waste of time on my mind. My mind.
Yeah. So what was your hobby with computers?
Just learning different things,
Yeah.
help people with them. I enjoyed helping others.
Didn't you have a side like computer repair business or consultation or
Yeah, I did.
consulting, sorry?
I do some consulting on it, taught a few classes.
You taught classes?
Yeah, but
Cool.
I wasn't a very good instructor, so it
Where did
didn't do good.
where did you teach?
There was a company that had a training room, and I'd rent the room from them and put on class. Worked perfect.
Really? Was that
Software.
in Northern California?
It was here in Sacramento area.
Really?
Yeah.
You were
Hmm.
teaching people how to do Word Perfect.
Perfect for those maybe that don't know what it is. It's similar to Microsoft Word.
Yeah, I remember using that as a kid.
Yeah.
So what kind of people would you have take your class?
It was different companies that send their employees to the class.
And why do you think you didn't do very well?
Had some help. My problem was that I couldn't spread myself thin enough to go around and answer everybody's questions. So some of the students were having to wait until I could get to them. And this wasn't efficient.
And then they would get frustrated.
I get frustrated. I get bad write-ups.
Dang. How long did you try to do that for?
Oh, just a few months and then gave up.
Yeah.
Realized that that wasn't my calling.
Well, you taught me how to use Word Perfect and use computers, so you did a good job there.
I've done a lot of one-on-one. And in a
Yeah,
classroom setup, I just know what it was is I just didn't have enough help. Should have had one
yeah,
or two people helping. So you can get around and answer people's questions and instead of having them sitting there waiting until I could get to them.
right.
Just wasn't very effective.
Yeah. Sounds like you were better at and preferred one-on-one.
One-on-one is a better fire, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Did you have any other hobbies besides computers? I know you were like interested in doing, I don't know, you were building that workshop in the garage for a while. You had a lot of electronic components and things like that. What
Well,
were
I was
you
building that
aspiring
out
to
there
do?
so when I retired, I could go out there and build these little electronic things that I wanted to build, but never worked out.
What were you going to build?
I just fiddle around with this and that.
Yeah, radios,
You know, all kinds of things with flashing lights or
spy satellites.
but she just never, that kind of
Well,
electronics moved on into chips and everything else that moved away from the building things with individual components.
right. Well, I think you enjoyed working with your hands, right? And doing things with
Right.
electronics and
Right.
stuff.
Hmm.
Then you got
working on
more into the
cars.
management.
Hmm?
Then you got more into management, right? You weren't doing as much in the field and hands-on stuff.
Yeah, I enjoyed
Yeah,
the field work, but the money was in management. So,
right. That makes sense. So sorry, you said you worked on cars too.
yeah,
When you were a teenager, right? You had a lot of skills, but then you just later on just worked on your own cars, tried to do most of your own
yeah.
automotive work.
When we got transferred to the Air Force to Riverside, I bought a 1954 Ford convertible. I put a new engine in it.
Wow. How did you do that?
Just,
Was the engine dead that it came with?
well, it's using oil and stuff and needed new rings and stuff. So I put in what they call a half block. You keep the heads, but replace the bottom half of the engine. I bought
Huh,
it from Sears. You could buy a half block from Sears.
really?
Mom was working for Sears, so I got a discount.
Nice. So you just did that right in your garage?
I was out in the open, didn't have a garage.
Huh. You had all the tools you needed to do it?
Yeah, I was a mechanic in the Air Force, so I could borrow whatever I needed from work and bring it home.
Oh,
Use it.
that's cool. Why do they call it a block? It's the engine block, right?
Yeah, I know. That's just what I call it.
Does the block house the pistons, the cylinders, all that stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you said you bought a half block, what was that?
On the top part of it, there's valves that go in and out. It open up, let the exhaust, it bring in the gas, fire it, and then the other one opens up and the fumes go back out. And
Okay.
that's the top part, and that's they call the head, and then the engine block itself. So I
Oh, okay.
took the heads off, replaced the bottom half, which had all the pistons and stuff. And like I said, it was using oil, so it needed new rings and stuff in the pistons.
Oh, cool.
Anyway, so we ended up having a Ford convertible. I'll never own
Nice.
another because of it.
I know you said you didn't like the. What was wrong with it besides not liking the convertible aspect?
It's just the sun beating on you. Just too hot. It gets
Yeah,
warm out in Riverside.
true. No AC?
No, I don't think we had AC in there. All right.
Oh, that would be kind of uncomfortable then.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, let's do one more question. Oh, this is kind of similar. I don't know. It's question 131, then we'll stop here. But what did you like to do when you were not working?
Gardening.
Gardening? Yeah. I do remember, well, normally when you get home from work, in my memory, you take a nap first.
Well, not always.
But
I remember coming home in the summertime and you guys would be out waiting out front to go to the swimming pool. So
that's true.
we'd pile in the
I
car, go up to the pool. So swim.
I think it was, if I remember correctly, it was Thursdays is usually was our day that we would go up to the Mormon Center and swim.
I don't remember which day it was. I don't know you guys. I thought we went up more than once a week.
We may have, but for some reason Thursday sticks out in my mind that that was the day we'd have our date with you to go up to the pool and swim
Mhm.
after work. But I
I
do remember
enjoyed
you
it.
doing a lot of gardening on Saturdays,
Hmm.
pruning trees, growing fruits, vegetables, all those things.
Right. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I still like to be able to do it, but I physically can't do it anymore.
You know, they have a garden simulator game that you could do. You could play a garden game.
Yeah, it's not the
But
same.
I know.
You
I
can't eat the
true.
pieces.
I remember you would squish the squash bugs between your forefinger and your thumb to get rid of them. And I thought that was so gross.
Well, I remember I had, even when we lived down in Southern California, I had a garden alongside the house on the lane.
Really?
Yeah,
Did your dad do gardening? Is that how you got into it, or were you just kind of,
no, he didn't ever do it.
huh?
I don't know why I did. I just something I enjoyed doing.
Yeah, it is fun. That's cool.
I remember one time we went down and caught some fish though, off the pier and brought it home in a gunny sack. And I saw all these. When I looked in it one time, and there was a whole bunch of maggots
Oh, gross.
eating away on the fish. So I just dug a hole and threw it in there. And I come out 2 days later, and the whole side of the house and the fence was covered with these black flies.
Oh no.
And so it didn't really kill them when I buried it. It just hatched and crawled back up out of there. Flies all over the place.
Gross.
I had a nice garden down there with growth squash, lettuce, tomatoes. Tomatoes has always been my favorite.
That's been your favorite thing to grow?
Well, yeah, I can't stand store-bought tomatoes. Don't compare to home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ones in the store is like eating cardboard.
Really? That different, huh?
I think so. You don't agree?
Well, I don't really like tomatoes that much, so
That's it. Oh, I
I'm not
love
much of a tomato guy. I know Dennis really likes them too, and he talks about growing tomatoes and everything,
it. Well,
but it's
mom,
hard to grow them in Arizona.
yeah. Well, mom loved to make tomato and mayonnaise sandwiches.
Oh yeah, I remember those. Hmm. No thanks on the tomato and mayonnaise. Cool. Well, I think
All I
that's
got grown now is a little tiny cherry tomatoes. Sun gold, they
right
call them.
outside the kitchen window, right?
All right, that's where they're growing right now. Still pick them every day, having a salad.
That's fun.
We've
Can I
had a
ask you
couple
one
of
more
frosty
question?
nights and they're still going. So frost doesn't kill them too much.
Really? Well, that's impressive.
Well,
Because you'd think they'd be gone by now.
2 years ago, one of the tomato plants stayed there all winter long and started growing tomatoes the next summer. I've never had
Really?
before. Had tomato plant go over the winter and come back in the summer. So maybe
Global warming, Dad. It's all about global warming.
it's the sunshine on the back of the house. I think that probably some of the heat from the house goes out there too. Keeps
I
them warm.
agree. That's what happens here if you have plants and stuff too close to the cinder block walls that a lot of people have their homes, the perimeter of. It just radiates heat off those walls.
You know, they get overheated. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I want to end with one more question, and then we'll stop for until next week. Well, yeah, if we do next week, next week is Christmas Eve.
Christmas, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Well, question 132. What is the most amazing thing that has ever happened to you?
Getting married to your mother.
Ah, I thought you would say that.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I was thinking that's what I would answer. Marrying Jill. Most amazing things happened to me.
Yep.
That's for sure.
And having your children.
Yeah, yeah.
I can remember going in the delivery room with you. You were the first one I was allowed to go in the delivery room with. I was up holding mom's shoulders up, pushing, trying to get you out. And nurse had to crawl up and on a stool and stand up above her, shove, and push you out.
Oh my goodness. That's
You were so big.
insane.
You were so big they could hardly get you out.
Jill says she has to do that sometimes when she's, has mothers that they just can't, the baby's not coming out. They gotta get up there and push on the stomach. That sounds painful.
But you were the largest of our children.
Not really.
Yeah.
Now I've got some ginormous boys. Well, was that that was a pretty eye-opening experience for you then, huh? The first time being in the room and your
Yeah,
child's being born.
with Jenny and Becky and Jenny, I was able to go into the labor room, but they didn't let the father go into the delivery room.
Oh.
You had to go to
So you were in the labor room and then when
Lamaze training class where they taught you how to hold the shoulders up and that kind of stuff. And if you went to that class and they let me go into the delivery room. With you and Brian, I got to go to delivery, but the others, Debbie and Dennis were father's waiting room. You sat in a room while waiting, wondering what's going on. His mom died or not died. And the cops come out and told me it was not a pleasant time to be out sitting there in the father's waiting room.
nerve-wracking.
And Becky and Jenny, they let me go in the labor room. And with you and Brian, we got to go actually into the delivery.
That's cool. Okay, well, we've got only 18 questions left. We'll do
That's,
maybe
uh,
8 to 10 more next time.
yeah, you can stop the
Thanks, Dad.
recording then.
Yep, I'll stop it now. Until next time, my friends.